Hello and welcome back to This Week in New Genre Books. My name is Amelia, and from Locus Magazine we're going to tell you all about the new science fiction, fantasy, horror, and related books being published the week of March 11th, 2025. First up, science fiction, we have 5 titles. From Constance Fay, we have Chaos, out from Bramble in paperback and ebook. This is a science fiction romance novel, third in the Uncharted Hearts series. Mercenary engineer Karo Ogunyemi infiltrates a prison planet where she meets Leviathan, a super soldier who turns into a mindless killer when activated with a chip. Karo needs his help to stage a prison break and escape their captors. From Sylvia Park, we have debut novel Luminous, out from Simon & Schuster in hardcover ebook and audiobook. This is a near-future SF novel set in a reunified Korea. Luminous follows 3 estranged siblings, 2 human and 1 robot. June and Morgan's father built their brother Yo-Yo, and now June is a detective in robot crimes, where a new investigation shakes their family. From Emery Robin, we have The Sea Eternal, out from Orbit US in hardcover, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This is a space opera SF novel, second in the Empire Without End series. Space Captain Anita pursues her dead commander's assassins into a neighboring empire, while war threatens. From Cheon Seon Ran, we have 1,000 Blues, out from Doubleday UK in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a near-future SF novel. Amidst tech acceleration and replacement of the workforce with robots, 2 sisters discover that their beloved racehorse is being put down. They train her to run the race as slowly as possible. Translated from the Korean by Chi Young Kim. From Catriona Sylvie, we have Love and Other Paradoxes, out from Morrow in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This is a time travel romantic comedy novel. Joe Green is an aspiring writer at Cambridge. Essie is a time travel tour guide from the future who leads a trip about Joe on the cusp of meeting his muse and becoming history's greatest writer. Their paths cross, and their budding romance might threaten history. Probably the life lesson is don't fall in love with a time traveler. How is that ever going to end well? Don't forget, we now have a page on bookshop.org. If you buy your next book through that link, you support your local bookstore and you support us at Locus. We really appreciate every bit of support. Next up, horror, we have 2 titles. From Alex Grecian, we have Rose of Jericho, out from Nightfire in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a horror novel about a small village in 19th century New England, where the dead aren't dying, whether it's cancer or the gallows. 3 newcomers arrive and encounter ghosts, hostility, and worse. From Kristen Simmons, we have She Waits for You, Beyond the Dark, out from Tortine in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. This is a young adult dark fantasy / horror novel mixing Japanese folklore and a world inspired by Jumanji. After beating the evil game Maido and returning Ian home safe, Ian and his friends discover that the Empress Izanami has possessed Ian. Next up, fantasy, we have 7 new titles. And if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. We're glad to have you here. From Catherine Addison, we have The Tomb of Dragons, out from Tor in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is the 3rd in the Cemeteries of Amalo series in the same world as the Goblin Emperor. Thara Silahar must navigate investigations and intrigue after losing his ability to speak with the dead. This is a pen name for Sarah Monette. From C.M. Alongi, we have The Witch Who Trades with Death, out from Angry Robot in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a fantasy romance novel about a witch forced to be one of the immortal emperor's concubines. When she kills one of his courtiers, she's forced to flee. She discovers the terrible deals with death itself that the emperor has made. From Terry Brooks, we have Gallifile, The First Druids of Shannara, out from Del Rey in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a fantasy novel set in the world of Shannara, first in the series The First Druids of Shannara. This adventure recounts the origins of the Druid Order and its founding by the elven orphan Gallifile. From Grace Curtis, we have Idlefire, out from Daw in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a science fantasy romance road trip novel. 2 women in search of redemption are both headed to the slumbering magic city of Novella to redeem themselves. From Alexander Kennington, we have Blood Beneath the Snow, out from Ace in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a fantasy romance novel, the first in the Blood and Souls duology. Rivna is a princess a disgrace for having no magical abilities. When her outcast's friends' lives are endangered, she enters the bloodshed trials, where she's kidnapped by the General Hellbringer. From Jean Louise, we have Igniting Fate, out from HarperCollins in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a YA epic fantasy novel, second in the duology, begun in Waking Fire. Dragons feature in this world inspired by North African, West African, and Middle Eastern cultures. From Seanan McGuire, we have Installment, Immortality, out from Tor in paperback and ebook. This is a fantasy novel, 14th in the Encrypted series. The Anima Mundi, Earth's living soul, assigns Phantom Mary Dunlavy the job of hunting down Covenant agents who are imprisoning America's ghosts. Mary goes on a road trip for the Covenant in Massachusetts. Finally, in our collections and anthologies category, we have 3 new titles being published this week. From Kevin J. Anderson, we have Stiffs and Stones, out from Wordfire Press in hardcover and ebook. This is a collection of whimsical, spooky investigation stories, the 10th book in the Cases of Dan Shamble Zombie PI series. The undead detective must contend with more supernatural clients seeking answers, including a mummy, a mutant fly mom, and a cyclops who's lost his eye. From Pedro Iniguez, we have Fever Dreams of a Parasite, out from Raw Dog Screaming in hardcover and paperback. This is a collection of 20 horror stories with elements of weird fiction, folklore, and cosmic horror. Outsiders, immigrants, and killers struggle in the face of harsh cosmic and political forces. Forward by Cynthia Pelayo. From Alexei Panshin, we have Following My Nose, out from Kasich, SF and Fantasy in paperback and ebook. This is a nonfiction book from the author of The World Beyond the Hill, a combination of memoir and critical writing on Panshin's influences, including Robert A. Heinlein, A.E. Van Vogt, and Lewis Carroll. That wraps up this week. Come visit us on the socials at Locus Mag or at Locus Magazine. Surf on over to locusmag.com for in-depth book reviews by our team of reviewers, author interviews with lovely and thoughtful writers, publishing news, and so much more. Tell us what books you're thinking about in the comments. Locus is a 501c3 nonprofit. Thanks for spending your precious time with us. We'll see you next week with more new books.